This is Money Matters video 2 about how to save, invest, and grow your wealth as a student. Hi grade 12s, I'm Albert van Wyk, and I studied industrial engineering at the University of Pretoria. Today, I'm also an entrepreneur, property investor, and author of my best-selling book, How to Become a Millionaire at 22. And in the previous video, I told my story of exactly how I made my first million as a student. And if you watch that video, you can apply those same principles in your journey to write your story and to create your own financial success for yourself. So make sure you didn't skip the previous video. And if you apply all of those principles and those examples in your life, you'll start earning some money for yourself, right? You'll start making money with all of your different endeavors. And then the next question is, but what do I now do with that money? What do I do with the money that I've earned from all of these different endeavors? And in this video, we're going to talk about how to save, invest, and then grow your wealth while studying by using certain core principles that we are going to discuss. And the first principle is living lean. I'm going to repeat that, living lean. You see, when I was in university, remember, I had a property that had tenants that were generating income for myself. I had all of these businesses where I was generating income for myself. So I had a lot of money while studying. And all my friends got new cool cars, they moved into new apartments, but I didn't do that. Even though I had the finances to be able to do that. I took all the money from all of my businesses and my property and invested right back into that property as an investment. I didn't use it to upgrade my lifestyle. I still drove my old Volvo 122S. It was a 1956 model, and it had no aircon in the summer and no heaters in the winter. I bought it for 8,000 Rand from my matric farewell business that I ran at high school and university. I drove that to campus every day. And even though my friends had these awesome, cool-looking cars, I knew that I was putting my money where it counts, in my property investment. I still lived with my parents and saved every rand and cent that I could. Even though my friends had parties at all their new flats and nice places, I still stayed at home, trying to invest all of my money in my property. I had a second-hand phone and a second-hand laptop. I always bought my friends' old phones or old laptops when they upgraded. And you see, I was living lean. And you can do the same. Instead of buying all the latest things and staying up with the trends, rather use that money where it matters, right? Rather use that money where you can buy wealth for your future, instead of spending it on all the meaningless things. And that brings me to the second principle. What do you do with that money? Where do you invest it? And how do you work to pay yourself first? Right? The second principle is paying yourself first. So do you know some people that earn a lot of money in the beginning of the month, but at the end of the month, they're always broke? Right? Do you know people that earn money from their salary or their business at the beginning of the month, but at the end of the month, they have nothing left? Do you know people that get pocket money at the beginning of the month, but at the end of the month, there's nothing left? Right? I'm not going to ask if that person is you. But the problem is that we know so many people, and maybe you are in a similar situation, where every month you spend everything you get in. And then you can never grow your wealth, you can never invest or save or go forward to build financial independence for yourself. So we need to change that by using this principle of paying yourself first. Now, I'm going to explain exactly how to do it, and it might get a bit technical, so stick with me. So when you receive your pocket money, let's say you get 1,000 Rand a month. When you receive that pocket money, don't say, I'll save at the end of the month, because we all know that never happens. Immediately as the money comes in, put a debit order on your account of, let's say, 30%, 300 Rand, that you put into an investment account immediately. And make it a 90-day or a 3-year investment account so that you can't pull that money out again and use it immediately. So when the 1,000 Rand comes in, 30%, goes immediately into an investment account, and then you're left with the remaining 700 Rand that you need to live on for your pocket money. Okay? And this does two things for you. One, it builds your wealth. 300 Rand, 300 Rand, 300 Rand every month. 30% of what you're earning, 30% of what you're earning, 30% of what you're earning. And it grows your wealth. The second thing paying yourself first does for you is it puts some pressure on yourself. You want to put yourself in an uncomfortable situation because now you only have 700 Rand left. You are used to spending 1,000 Rand per month, but now you can only spend the 700 Rand. And that puts some pressure and urgency on you to find other ways to earn money, to top up your 700 Rand until you get back to the 1,000 Rand that you are used to. And you can use some of the examples that I talked about in my previous video. Try and find ways by selling something, a product or a service, or doing some kind of service or a task for someone by using your skills, your assets, and your networks to generate money again in order to go back to the 1,000 Rand that you're used to. So pay yourself first, and then you'll see that you'll simultaneously build wealth and put some pressure on yourself to do something to earn more income for yourself. And that brings us to the third principle, and that is taking an offensive position. You see, too many people, when they get their money in the beginning of the month, their pocket money or their money from their side hustle or business or salary, they try to protect it, right? And they try to budget it and save it. Have you heard things like, no, we don't have money for that, or no, I can't afford this, or no, there's no budget for that this month? They try to save and protect this little bit of money that they get in the first place. And it's a very defensive position to take. I'm saying let's take an offensive position. And that's the third principle, taking an offensive position. And what do I mean by that? Let me explain by using the example of a water bucket. Let's say you have a water bucket and you throw water in at the top. But at the bottom, there's holes and the water leaks through the bucket. These holes could be data, petrol, food on campus, books that you need to buy, all of these kinds of things, going out with friends. And now what happens is the water drips through these holes, and what do? We try to patch up the holes. Defensive position, right? Try and protect the little bit of money that we have so that it doesn't drip through the holes. I'm saying, what if we open the tap a little bit bigger? Take the offensive position. Put more water in the bucket to begin with. You can even take a fire hose and put it into the bucket. Then it will always overflow. So instead of working with that 1,000 Rand budget that you have and trying to pull every Rand and cent from it, why not make it more? Why not go on the offensive position and start earning more money every month? And with that, I want to challenge you. Do you think it's possible to make 50 Rand more this week than you did last week by taking the offensive position? Right? Too easy? Okay, let's up the ante. Do you think you can make 100 Rand more this week than you did last week? Great. Challenge accepted. Perfect. Here's the catch. Next week, I want you to make 100 Rand more than you did this week. And the week after that, I want you to make 100 Rand more than you did the previous week. And the week after that, I want you to put all your energy and focus on just making 100 Rand more than you did the previous week. What are we doing now? We're opening up the tap. We're putting more water into the bucket to begin with, and we're taking the offensive position. You can apply these three principles in your life to make sure that you invest and you grow your wealth as a student. And now you might say, oh, but that's not so easy. How do you get all of these things done? What about time management and getting the energy to actually do these things? Well, in the next 2 videos, we're going to talk about time management and getting the energy and drive to actually implement all of this. So make sure you watch the following 2 videos. And remember that you need to apply these principles in your life today. Take action. Take the responsibility upon yourself to start investing and growing your wealth as a student. and do something today that your future self will thank you for.